What is going on, everyone? Mitesh here, and you guys know the Pixel lineup of phones are some of my favorite phones. I've had every single Pixel phone except for the OG Pixel, and right now I'm rocking the Pixel 4. If you guys saw my video recently, I bought this thing used, and I've been using it for a while now, and there are so many things to like with this phone, but there are two things that just make this phone a little bit harder for me to recommend than every other Pixel phone so far. So let's talk about them. All right, so let's be honest. Pixel phones are, for me personally, easy to recommend because I think they're good user experience. Like, most things about them are good enough that everyone's going to be fine with them. Like, if you're not someone who's a super tech enthusiast, you know every single other phone that's out there and you're trying to compare spec for spec with every other phone, then the Pixel 4 kind of falls short. But if you're an average user who just wants to use a Pixel phone as a phone and take great pictures and stuff like that, Pixel 4 is actually a really good phone, except for a couple of things. And the first one of those things is the battery on this thing. So especially the small one, which is the one I have because I like small phones, this thing has a smaller battery than the Pixel 3 last year, and that is a huge problem because, first of all, the screen on here is a high refresh rate screen, and it's also got more sensors than the Pixel 3 did. It's got the Soli radar sensor, it's got face unlock and everything, so you have a lot of battery draining components on this phone, and somehow they decided to put a smaller battery in here. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't been able to do a real life in the day of a smartphone because of the whole quarantine situation. I'm pretty much stuck at home. I work from home, and yeah, so I haven't really been able to test it, but even I can still tell the battery on life on this is not that great. And honestly, battery life has never been one of the strong suits of the Pixel lineup, but this one is actually worse than all the others that I've used before. So that is one of the main reasons that I don't think I can recommend the small Pixel 4 to anybody. The bigger one has a bigger battery, and I've heard that it lasts a lot longer, but for this one, I get like maybe 2.5 hours of screen on time. That is one of the major complaints that I have about this phone. I just don't know why Google decided to put a smaller battery in this. Yes, I get that they have more components and all that, but a smaller battery just makes no sense for when you have a high refresh rate screen, when you have more sensors than you ever have before. Putting in smaller battery just makes no sense, and I can tell you right now, battery life should be a key spec, and Pixel is just missing out on that. And the other major thing that I have a specific problem with the Pixel 4 is the fact that you don't get original quality backups anymore. And the reason, I honestly didn't think this was going to bother me as much as it does, but the reason it really bothers me is that I'm taking 4K videos out there, I'm taking lots and lots of photos with this because it takes amazing photos and it takes pretty great video, but I have to back it all up manually because I can't trust on Google to back it up for me anymore, unlike I could with the Pixel 3, which if you buy the Pixel 3 now, you still get 2 years worth of backups for free, which is fantastic. I don't know why on this phone they decided to kill the backups. And the other thing that goes along with that is the fact that they only offer 64 gigabytes in the base model, which is low for Android. Like, most Android manufacturers are giving you 128 gigabytes of storage. In fact, I'm testing the TCL 10 Pro right now, a mid-range phone that costs $450 that offers you 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM. So that's comparable to what this phone has, and just more with more storage, but for a way less price. That's another problem that I have, is the fact that it's a 64 gigabyte phone and they no longer offer you the original quality backup. So you either have to get the 128 gigabytes, which is $100 more, not $50 more like they are with the iPhones. It's $100 more. It's way, way, way too expensive for that upgrade to storage, and they don't even offer any higher tiers than that. So that's one problem that I have. And then the original quality backups being gone I think it's just a huge mistake for Google. I think it was actually a really nice feature to have with this and really differentiated from other Android competitors. But yeah, that's gone. So these are the two major reasons that I find it hard to recommend this phone, whereas I found it actually pretty easy to recommend the Pixel 3 XL that I bought. Even though it had some performance issues, it was still a really good phone, which, by the way, performance on this is fantastic. Like, the extra 2 gigabytes of RAM on this really, really help performance, and the high refresh rate screen, it's all great. Everything about this phone is great, except for those two things. So yeah, that is my biggest problem with the Pixel 4. Like, it makes it really hard to recommend this phone to people to go get it. Now, I'm still doing my full review of this, so make sure you guys subscribe so you guys don't miss that. But yeah, those two things right there are making this phone a little bit harder for me to recommend than other Pixel phones. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!